Hello and welcome back to the Boston Commune.
This week's incredulous installment will feature commentary from Comrade Scott, Joe, Ellie, Chris, Sarah, and myself. We discuss bad faith critics of Nina Turner, who is playing political football with the eviction moratorium, how Obama hurt Charlie Baker's feelings, the Cuomo double standard, human test subjects of the nuclear age, why you should vote for Michelle Wu, what happened on the Green Line, and the faux rogue intellectualism of processed meat. I'm really sick right now, but I sounded spectacular in the recording, I promise.
Please do us a favor, share this content, do yourself a favor, enjoy your evening.
Back in 2008, two Green Line trains collided, killing one of the drivers and injuring others. Back then, the National Transportation Safety Board said anti-collision technology might have prevented that deadly accident. The NTSB said the same thing about another Green Line collision the following year, but 11 years later, that anti-collision technology still isn't in service.
Woohoo!
You know, I think the rain is actually a lot like communism. When you think about it, at first it sounds really nice, but once you actually get out into it, it is even better!
Starting off with weird sound effects this week.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that really? Is that a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, it's like a keyboard cleaner.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, one of those little ones.
I was right!
Teeny one.
It smells like it's
Little
burning.
teeny one.
Joe was right,
Keyboard.
as he just yelled.
Let the record show. Let the
Yep.
record Joe.
Let the record... Joe, tell us about Nina Turner's race in Ohio. That's how you do a transition.
That was actually excellent. So, currently, there is a primary going on right now in the 11th Congressional District of Ohio, which is basically Cleveland. The Democratic Party has dumped a lot of money, resources, and AIPAC money into propping up Chantel Brown, who is basically like a local apparatchik of the Democratic Party, and anybody with half a brain cell and who isn't a sociopath is back to Nina Turner. This sounds like an oversimplification, but it's not. I digress to the point that currently Brown is leading by about, back of the envelope math here, about 3,300 votes. There are about 46% of her precincts reporting in Cuyahoga County, which is the county with the largest vote share. So the fact that Turner's only trailing by like 3,000 votes is actually a pretty good thing at this stage of the race, because it's Cleveland. I mean,
Cleveland.
I don't really...
And Cleveland rocks! You know, we got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there. Cleveland rocks.
Come and look at both of our buildings.
Drew Carey Show.
Both.
See the river that catches on fire.
I meant, like, looking at the map of the district, like, the fact that, like, Turner won the more suburban county in the district is kind of a sign of where I hope things go.
Like, if she can win the suburbs, then she can definitely win the city, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If the shill who AIPAC dumped millions and millions of dollars into a race attacking Nina Turner can win in the suburbs, when it's all said and done, there's a very good chance that she just ends up winning in the urban areas as well.
Well, it would be appropriate to say that Cleveland rocks.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Because dumped a lot of money into this.
Okay.
The Congressional Black Caucus is like...
That's awesome.
Come out and been like, yeah, Nina Turner is a terrible person. Like, there was a Politico article I was reading this morning. I mean, not this morning, yesterday morning. It basically read as Congressional Black Caucus members in regards to actual, like, lefty primary challengers.
How dare these lefties endanger our nepotistic patronage gigs?
Yeah, man. It's a big club and we're not in it. Yeah.
That's the gist of the article. It was just so hilariously absurd. Taking this as like, oh, that's a reasonable position to have.
Yep.
Cleveland.
I mean,
lukewarm.
These shitty articles are written by the same kinds of people, so...
No, I mean, the people in Politico are morons, but it's like the Congressional Black Caucus, it wasn't always like this, but in the last 10, 20 years, it's just become a bastion of, like, reactionary conservative Democrats who just happen to be black. It's nominally supposed to be, and it was intended to be a caucus of members of Congress who are explicitly trying to act and achieve material benefits, material gains for black Americans. And now it's just basically a bunch of reactionary black conservative Democrats who hide behind, well, we're black, so shut up.
Yeah, it's like Pete Buttigieg, except gay.
Because you have, like,
Very good analysis.
members of the Black Caucus attacking black primary challengers to them and being like, these people aren't really black. Like, that literally happened last year in Ohio.
That's like such a weird...
Yeah, no, it happens.
It's such a weird way to, like construe that. But, I mean, that's what Biden won on, so fucking...
Yeah.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Like, Ilhan Omar's primary challenger, was propped up by AIPAC as well, ran attack mailers saying that Ilhan Omar isn't really black because she's from Africa.
Yeah.
I shit you not, that actually happened.
Yeah, I've heard you say this before, but I have never fact-checked you, and I feel obliged to do so, because...
No, it happened. There were articles written about it last August.
It happened. I'm not sure if it was exactly that's what they were saying, but...
That's pretty much what they were saying.
Yeah.
It was arguing that, like, she isn't really black because she's not an American descendant of slaves. She comes from
basically.
Somalia.
That was the argument, yeah.
Part of the reason that some black people prefer the term black to African American is that African American people do not constitute the totality of people who could be said to be black, such as people who are from Africa.
Or Blackfoot Indians, like Native Americans.
Yeah.
Still absurd. Like, anybody to the left of, like, a Black Caucus member
Whenever
is
you
like,
say that, I can't, like, I just hear the black cock separately.
Oh, God.
And then the us after. Whenever someone says Black Hawk Down, I also hear Black
Hawk Down?
Yeah.
I think it was, who was quoted in that Political article yesterday? I think it was...
it's a Black Hawk Down.
Uh-oh.
I want to see that one. John Travolta, Christian.
You said it, brother, not me.
Slater, Black Hawk Down. I want to see that.
We can sample that shit.
Uh-huh. So only 2 districts are reporting right now, though? 2 counties or whatever?
Well, there's only 2 counties in the district.
Oh, LOL. Okay, well then, never mind.
Okay, so they just updated the votes a little bit. Turner has narrowed the lead, and she's only down by about 3,200 now.
You want to love it, you want to hear it, you want to see it. Well, good luck, Miss Turner.
Hi, it's me from the future. Nina Turner did not win. She lost by about 6 percentage points. I don't really have anything insightful to say, but we got some indication of how this might go when Cuyahoga County gave 115 delegates to Biden and only 21 to Bernie Sanders in the primary last year. Nina Turner compared voting for Biden to voting for half a bowl of shit. Not that she's wrong, she's right. And that's why I think running against the Democratic Party as a member of the Democratic Party is usually a waste of time and money. If you need a more nuanced autopsy of the election, then, I don't know, listen to Sam Cedar or whatever.
Want to talk about the eviction moratorium? Sad days. Sad days ahead.
Sad days behind and ahead.
Stuck in the middle with you or something.
Yeah.
We're just in a gauntlet of sadness.
It's a bad world. Want to tell us more about it, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad, honestly, because, like, they're really not trying to put any effort and trying to make people think.
What?
The only reason that they're doing this is because it's, like, really hard for them to, like, try to shove the blame onto the GOP. They're doing this essentially because enough people are going to be affected by this, and enough people have started to sit up, take notice, and be like, this is really fucked up. So, like, the Democrats are haphazardly doing this so to save face, I guess. It didn't help their case that AOC won on CNN this past weekend and made literally the same point that I've been making for the past couple months now, that, like, the Democrats can't in good faith in any way, shape, or form, like, remotely attempt to pass the blame on the Republicans for a lapse in the eviction moratorium, because, like, the Democrats have all of the power right now. So, like, it's on them, and they're fucking it up. And then you have several members of Congress sleeping on the steps of the Capitol in protest over this. And so Biden today announced that they are going to do a partial eviction moratorium until the first week of October. It's not a nationwide.
So what are they going to do? They're going to like partially evict people, like your foot has to leave?
No, it's an eviction moratorium in some part of the country.
No, what they're gonna do is they're gonna tear down one wall of the house.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it's not a house anymore, but you can still stay in there. But it's not a house.
So there's going to be an eviction moratorium in some parts of the country, but not all of the country.
Which parts?
I'm going to read an excerpt from this very concise, very quick Reuters article. The CDC on Tuesday, it issued a 60-day moratorium on evictions in, quote, areas with high COVID-19 infections, which means the order will apply to about 80% of American counties that have high or substantial COVID-19 community transmission rates and covers about 90% of the population. So an eviction moratorium order with the intention of preventing COVID infections will not cover 20% of U.S. counties with high COVID-19 transmission rates. What more evidence do you require that this is a half-ass move?
It's not even a half. It's like a quarter ass. It's like pretty bad.
I require that you show me the other half of the ass.
Yeah. It's just a scant slit of the ass.
One square inch.
1 inch of ass is all it is that they're putting in there.
So,
1 inch ass.
the reason why this is
That's the episode title. I don't care.
right there. So over 15 million people in 6.5 million households are currently behind on rent and collectively owe over $20 billion to landlords, according to a survey by the Aspen Institute.
I killed him.
What the fuck's so funny?
1 square inch of ass.
But they're literally not really doing anything. They're just postponing the moratorium for like a limited number of people who are just going to get screwed anyways. Like, it's fucking insane.
On so many other fronts. So 15 million people are behind on rent. They owe $20 billion collectively to landlords. And the insane thing is, the reason this is even happening in the first place is this group called the National Apartment Association, which is basically a lobbying group for landlords. It has 22,600 members that collectively manage over 9.7 rental units. They sued the U.S. government, seeking about $7 billion in damages for unpaid rent due to the moratorium. The group called the new eviction moratorium, quote,
an unfunded government mandate that forces housing providers to deliver a costly service without compensation and saddles renters with insurmountable debts.
What service are they?
How many fucking
rendering?
losers in this country are landlords that they're so like what the fuck are you talking about? That like you're dependent on someone else to
It's almost.
It's not a real job.
Yeah, it's almost like they've been convinced that this is a way to make income, and now
by leeching off someone else, it just doesn't make fucking sense.
They've been convinced of it. They've said, okay, if you do this, own property, it's great. You can lease it and make money.
It's the owning property part.
Yeah, I'm saying is then it's like, okay, well now we have a bunch of people who have vested interest in, like making this continue to exist the way it is.
Yeah, all their friends are doing it.
I need to correct myself. I said that the National Apartment Association sued the government for $7 billion in damages. It was actually $13 billion in damages. And in that lawsuit, they literally argued that it was like an unconstitutional act of government overreach that was impeding upon their ability to profit.
Oh, poor babies.
And the Supreme Court ruled like 6-3 in their favor.
Yeah, we just have to stop making it so that landlord is like a legitimate career.
If only there was someone who had a solution to this problem.
I mean,
Strokes chin.
When the revolution comes, we're instantly putting all of the landlords in the gulag.
Tell you what, we need to go back to the fucking Tudor period. I've been watching this documentary. Anybody who wants to own a house and rent it to somebody, it needs to be like a farm, and the landlord needs to be in charge of all the fucking pigs and geese and take care of the place. And
we should also steal all the lead from the church's windows.
Yes, that
also happened in Tudor time.
I don't understand, but okay.
They were like, the church is too rich, they got it too good. We're gonna literally just like take off their like stained glass windows and take the lead that was used to hold them up and then sell it.
Direct
money.
action.
That's
Yes.
that's
Well, no, I mean it was the king doing that. It wasn't
Bring
like
back the feudal
peasant.
model.
Oh, it was
alright, whatever.
I mean, that's kind of what happened during the French Revolution when they abolished the nobility's position in state function.
Yeah, good shit.
It was like the monarchy and the nobility were the first two things that like had
Fuck
the
'em
axe
both.
taken to it.
Can we talk more about Tudors? I know things about English monarchy. Can any of the learned people relate anything to the Tudor period?
Yes.
I'm learning about tenant farming in the Tudor period, and how they made
I love how
cheese out of
Anglicanism.
sheep.
I love how Anglicanism is the result of one guy being like, "I want a divorce and be able to marry my mistress," and now we have a whole religion that was created specifically for that situation.
Which is the same, except I can get divorced, basically.
No, it's because the Pope wouldn't let the King of England divorce his.
Yeah, we know the
wife.
story, Joe.
I don't know it.
Henry VIII. Henry
Tell
VIII, I am.
Tell the entire story.
Tell me the entire life story of Henry VIII and his.
All it is just divorce, beheaded, died. Divorce, beheaded, survived.
Divorce,
Oh, yeah.
behead, die.
That's a good game. Yeah, that was
I don't know.
all
He's
his
not
life.
actually that interesting.
Took advantage of the early printing
He's just
press.
a
Hegemonic Christian
horny
paradigm
old man.
that ruled over
I don't really care.
the
Yeah.
Elizabethan era. It's okay,
Sarah's got a very accurate description right there.
Well, what else news is there?
Yeah, tell about Charlie Baker, the fucking
Charles
loser.
Baker.
You think he's listening to Blink 182 right now?
All the small
things.
things.
I think he is.
That came on the radio today. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
He's listening to Angels and Airwaves. That's what he does in the evening.
I honestly wasn't sure when I first saw this if this was like another indication that I'm like losing my mind and like reality is like kind of slipping from me.
Both
when I
can
saw
be
that, like,
true.
I wasn't sure if it was like work-related burnout just driving me insane, or like, wait a minute, Charlie Baker was right about something?
Broken clock, dude.
Yeah.
Now and again, whether or not the intentions were pure, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandpa tried to tell me
on.
last night that a broken clock is only right once a day, and I'm like, that's not even true. It's
A broken 24-hour clock,
yeah.
I guess.
But anyways, Charlie
fucking
Baker
hilarious. Your
said
grandfather
that
is very funny, man.
Yeah,
he
your grandparents
is.
may suck, but they're based.
Well, not my grandpa. I digress.
A lot of people that suck are based. Don't tell me I'm wrong.
Your grandparents are baking soda.
Yeah,
That's somewhere in the middle. Anyways, Joe,
right.
what
There's
did
a
Charlie,
grind
what
them
was
up and
Charlie
put them in
Baker
my
right
baked
about
goods.
to get to the other side?
He said that Barack Obama's planned birthday party, which has 700 guests including staff, is a, quote, bad idea. Baker said he did not get an invitation to Obama's
Oh, that's why he
That's
said it.
yeah.
party.
That's
Why you
That's
get a
funny.
fight, dude.
And, Buzz's
hurt
Vineyard.
by that. He is
And
sad
he
about
said he
that.
would have declined, citing reservations.
Oh yeah,
for the party.
fucking right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
He
bullshit.
sure
He
would
would have
have.
declined.
Yep, sour grapes.
Yeah.
Sour grapes.
I mean,
We love
he's-
it though.
the intentions are wrong, but he's still right because, like, supposedly there are going to be about 200 staff and 500 guests at somewhere in like Martha's Vineyard.
I can't imagine having that many people.
I didn't want to come to your dumb
attend.
party anyway.
I would not be able to think of
Fucking dork.
500 people that I'd want to have. I wouldn't be able to think of like 100 people I would want at an event.
Yeah, it's almost as if somebody that famous and powerful doesn't have any real friends and only has a totally huge number
People that
of
want to mooch off
superficial
of them.
connections. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Networking.
Sycophants.
Networking. There you go.
Social entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I did feel better reading the article because I was having feelings like, wait,
Innovation.
is inviting like 12 people to a birthday party like too many people? And then it's like, oh, Obama's inviting 500 to his. That should be fine.
See, it's like when you invite 5 or 500, you're a loser. Either way. Yeah.
If you have a birthday party, you are a loser.
If you have a
Scott McCarthy.
birthday,
No, I mean the number.
29, 20,
The
21.
number. God damn it, guys.
Oh, you mean Obama is a loser?
Yes.
regardless.
God damn it.
Okay.
Also, I think he's asking for money for some new like thing that he started. So it's all bullshit. Don't give
Why
Obama
does
your
he
money.
need money. He's got more money than God at this point, basically.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. He wants to produce some like other bullshit movie that's gonna like
Didn't he have
an entire appeal towards like
Yeah.
neoliberal politics, like they all do.
oh yeah, very unique plot.
Yeah, Andrew Cuomo, he's a creep, and Biden asks for him to resign. Let's hope he does. He's not gonna do it. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, the asking to resign thing.
Yeah, Biden asked him
that's
to
big
resign.
political theater. It's not going anywhere.
One old man telling another old man to stop doing bad things.
I wish I had the Randy Rainbow clip of Cuomo sexual, but I don't. It's fine. We're all Cuomo sexuals now.
Here is the fucked up thing. Andrew Cuomo can get away with, like, essentially throwing thousands of old people out of hospital beds.
But he gropes like a couple people, and it's like,
and that's fine. And then he can get away with that. He can write a fucking
Cuomo
book
also
about
got the
it.
state's Medicaid fund during the height of the pandemic last year.
Yes, that's what I'm referring to. And he can write a book about that. But not to say that it's not a big deal. It's a big deal if you sexually assault somebody, then that's where you draw the line, which is like so indicative of this woke CIA shit. We'd already moved on to a new subject by the time I found the words to explain this. I think that the specific standards that public officials are held to comport with our fetish for personal responsibility, as if we have the same capacity to just lift ourselves out of poverty the way we would keep our hands to ourselves. We must respect bodily autonomy in the workplace, but we won't treat the sick unless they can afford it.
Woke CIA shit. Sounds about right.
It's like the order in which consequences come. And like in movies, how they'll show all kinds of gore and stuff like that, and that's totally fine, but then something else comes on, like, oh, there was insert XYZ, like, social issue that wasn't acceptable.
Breastfeeding in public.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, obviously I'm not comparing it, but it's the order in which, like, the guy does something that kills people, like you say, nothing happens, and then it takes this on top of that for anything to happen. It's like, well, this wouldn't have happened if that first thing would have been addressed, and the first thing before that, and the first thing before that. It's like, how much can they keep stacking on before?
Honestly, it makes you think of it in terms of, like, trying to distract from the issue. It makes you think of last January, or it's like, oh, well, we killed Qasem Soleimani, but look at all these people protesting in our embassy. They're breaking chairs. They're being very disorderly. And which of those two things got more media coverage?
I don't know, Joe. Tell me. Soleimani?
No.
Oh. Damn it.
Hey, you had a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
There was a whistleblower that got sentenced to jail recently. I think 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Drone strikes, I think it was.
Yeah.
That's a good example.
Daniel, somebody.
So, like, while someone can, party on, even though you basically are responsible for war crimes, someone who exposes that gets punished, but they don't. It's the same way the U.S. has plans to invade The Hague if they're tried in the International Criminal Court.
Yeah, that's really not talked about enough.
Yeah. So it's clear that there's a double standard, and it's not really in the interest of justice. It's in the interest of power.
The whistleblower is Daniel Hale.
Hale, yeah. That's right. Wait, so if The Hague ever is finally like, hey, we're going to try the U.S. for all the shit they've done, we're literally just going to invade them?
Isn't The Hague just a building? Like, I don't understand.
No, it's a city.
The air, it's a general threat to Europe, like, do what we say because we can do whatever we want, sort of thing.
We are big, we have tanks.
Yeah, we have bombs.
Don't irritate us, or we're sending in the Marine Corps.
It is funny to think of the military invading a building, but...
If you annoy us enough, we'll invade Belgium for free.
Pigs in Belgium, huh?
We don't even need any oil. We'll just show up.
We'll just spin a wheel, and whatever it lands on, we'll invade that place. I feel like that's not too far from where we're at. The Wheel of Misfortune.
Invasion. Wheel of
imperialism.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Seriously, if you polled the general public, or even people who follow this stuff, on naming every country we're bombing or at war with, most people would not be able to come up with the list. I don't even think I know the list fully because I can't keep up with it. It's a new list every day.
Yeah, we also don't know. Like, they're like soldiers stationed in countries that we never hear about for any reason, let alone the secret fucking contractor military garbage. Like Chad. You never hear about Chad.
Yeah, what's going on in Chad?
I hear about Chad all the time.
We probably got soldiers in Chad. I'm going to look this up. How many soldiers we got in Chad? We got soldiers in Chad?
Most likely we have one of those, like, little Army or Air Force bases that we could, like, deploy drones from or whatever.
Well, this is very, very fitting. The first result I got was...
You might not know where Chad is, but the U.S. military has big plans for it.
Oh, baby.
There you go.
They got big plans for this little country.
It's actually pretty big, isn't it?
For this medium-sized country.
How big is that?
How big is it compared to the U.S.? Like, we're a large-ass country.
That's true.
Yeah. We cover, like, an entire hemisphere almost, so...
I have never seen the denomination Chadians until today.
Chadians.
Chadians?
It looks like
Chadites.
like that band that did the Friends theme song.
Chatters.
Chadders.
Chadites.
Some chadders. It's not as big as Sudan. It's like pretty moderately big.
Chad-ants?
Chadites.
Yeah, they're Chad-ants. They're Chadites.
Okay, so there's that. At least the United States military is admitting to engaging in military operations with at least 1,425 U.S. trained soldiers.
Or it's
US
could end up being a
trained
thing
soldiers.
where it's like we find out about it like 4 years later.
In Chad?
Or when things pop off there, they'll be like, actually, we
off.
have 5,000 people here ready to,
Actually, we've been running death squads since like 2018.
Actually, it doesn't count because it was limited airstrikes.
That's what happened with the.
Oh, sorry.
That's what happened with the death squad report in Afghanistan last Christmas.
Bernie Sanders.
They waited until Christmas, and then they dropped it. The Intercept dropped that investigative report about how we've been running death squads that are like murdering children in Afghanistan. They waited until around Christmas to do it.
Huh.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, we've been doing this for years." Like,
gotta wait till everybody's happy.
the rationale behind these death squads is, well, these boys can't join the Taliban if they're dead before they grow up.
That's true. You can't do that if you're dead.
Solid logic.
It's
We
Do you think that the U.S. military is currently researching how to freeze soldiers so they can leave them somewhere in the middle of nowhere?
If
And
there's
cryogenically freeze them. So
if there's any insane human experimentation happening, it is happening in the interest of advancing the American war machine.
I believe it.
That's where our innovation comes from, and it usually
it's also
sucks.
where a third of our
It's usually very expensive and it fails.
Yeah, I mean, they do a lot of expensive stuff already. Like, failure and expense is not an issue for them.
Oh, hell
Bad
no.
and
Then you can
expensive
just write
is
it
the
off.
American way of war.
If you want to go down a dark rabbit hole, look up San Francisco biological warfare testing, where they basically sprayed the whole city of San Francisco with bioweapons to test it on the population. And then nuclear testing.
They did that in Washington State, too.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. We love our government.
Yeah.
When did they do that? My mom used to live there.
Oh, God.
I don't remember. It was a couple decades ago.
Oh, okay. It wasn't 1968.
It might have.
I mean,
So that was, in fact, a couple decades ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the 50s was the high point of the CIA actively testing out shit on American.
1950.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They used a giant hose to spray a cloud of microbes into the air to test how a biological weapon attack would affect residents of the city. Yeah, so they released actual bacteria to test the effects of biological warfare. Operation Sea Spray, that's what it is, apparently.
Yeah, sea spray.
I actually read about this. The government never apologized to anybody about this.
Wow. Would you accept their apology, though?
On video, there's also
I wouldn't accept their apology.
Training material of American soldiers just being sent to run at an exploding nuclear bomb.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Part of the archives now.
But
wait, why?
To make you giggle.
No, it was really wild that a lot of these soldiers do these tests because they wanted to see what the effects were, so they could possibly use it in a war. It's see how
I've brought this up before. This was why Japan was exempt from consequences, because we could use their data too.
Yeah, and soldiers were told, okay, so you're gonna close your eyes, the bomb is gonna go off, wait 10 seconds, open your eyes, crawl out of the foxhole, and start walking towards the cloud.
Yes, rush the fucking mushroom cloud. By the way,
berserker.
I have to retract my last statement. I said Japan had no consequences. The consequences were that they got fucking bombed.
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
What happened to those brave soldiers, Joe? Those brave men.
Records indicate that most of them died of various excruciating cancers.
Yeah.
Skins just melted off and shit, like real gross.
No, it takes longer than that.
Who were those people?
The long game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they didn't even tell people the first time they were testing them. They just said, hey, we're going for a test. Oh, okay. Boom.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you got cancer.
Yep.
Boom.
Oh, no.
Pretty much you want to bet that it was, like, not white people.
No, it was white people.
Oh, really? Wow.
Wow.
They used the white people for that. That's a really serious experiment.
White people.
No, I mean it like
hate everyone, including
they're
other
like,
white
well,
people.
okay,
will
we'll
kill
just
everybody.
sacrifice the brown people to test our nuclear weapons. You know, like
We'll kill
Well, the
anyone.
bomb is the
that's kind of that was. But
highest priority.
this reminds me of something else on a much less extreme scale of like them
I would hope
testing out
so.
like stress.
Less than a nuclear bomb.
Well, that's what Japan was, basically.
I said much less.
I just remembered that they did actually test, like the people of the Bikini Atoll tests. Those were the test subjects. Those were the non-white test subjects.
Oh.
Yes.
Also, they had journalists there too, and which is a wild thing unto itself. The whole thing was like a stunt to basically supposed to be
It was like a dick waving contest.
The Soviets. And it is estimated that all of the journalists who were present at the demonstrations, their lifespans were cut by about 6 months as a result of them being present, even though they were miles away from the blast.
Yeah, I saw an interview with a guy who said that literally all of his friends died.
Yeah, and most of his limbs had to be amputated.
Anti-Flag has a good song about this. So
Sorry.
What
were you saying? What were you saying, Sarah? Sorry. What were you saying, Scott?
Oh, just listen to the Anti-Flag song about this. It's pretty good.
And
What's it
what is
called?
it called?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
When is this weekend? Nobody's gonna fucking Google anti-flag song about nuclear test subjects.
You should.
Fine, I'll do it.
I'm doing it right now. Calm down.
Anti-flag song about nuclear test subjects.
And then it's just like the SpongeBob theme song.
Oh my god, you guys didn't find it yet?
It's called fucking. It's the name of the actual place where they did it. So
Bikini Atoll.
Yeah, or Vasquez, Puerto Rico, Bikini.
That's also where the kind of swimsuit gets its name from, by the way.
What?
Yeah, we know.
Oh yeah. Yes, that is an interesting piece of Americana right there. Inspired.
I'm also born there.
Inspired by the genocide of the Bikini Atoll peoples, and it
We're
makes my
just a
titties look
wonderful fucking country and like empire. It's awesome. We're
They
awful.
hate us for our freedoms to commit genocide.
Jesse.
Yes. Hello. Okay, so I just wanted to cover some
There we go.
some local news stuff. So I want to start off with this one because this just was an absurd headline. A guy fucking amputated his arm driving down Route 95 in Canton.
Can you elaborate? Okay, I need to know. You would say amputate, and
I
that,
need to know where.
does that mean that he got in an accident which caused his arm to be chopped off, or
He amputated it like while he was driving himself?
he was like driving with like his knees while sawing off his arm
with a chainsaw?
Or like one of those special like curvy knives they used to use in like the Victorian era.
Curvy knife.
Curvy knives.
Yeah.
So here's what we know. The driver, for reasons still under investigation, failed to negotiate the ramp's right-bearing curve and drove off the left edge of the road onto the grass shoulder. The car struck a guardrail, then traveled back across the road, where it struck another guardrail along the right edge of the road. A trooper applied a tourniquet to the victim, who was transported by ambulance to BMC with life-threatening injuries. Emergency personnel located the victim's arm, and a trooper rushed it to BMC. Luckily, his 23-year-old passenger was not injured in the crash. So,
I did read about this.
Yeah.
That was me.
Guy
That was
lost
me in the
his
crash.
fucking arm. Anyway.
You asked how it happened?
So
I don't know. I just passed out when the
makes no
crash
sense.
happened.
Sarah has amnesia. Okay.
So I don't know if anybody here takes the Route 28 bus, but that will, effective August 29, be free for 3 months. It's a pilot program. City is spending $500,000 on the pilot program on that particular route. And, of course, Michelle Wu is calling for an extension of the pilot program to the entire transit system, which would be lovely.
Woo!
Yeah.
We woo.
Along those lines, so as we probably know, maybe the listener doesn't know, but we know, 2 trolleys smashed into each other on the B branch down the street from me on Friday. And the NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board, actually came in to do an investigation. And they found that the trolley that struck the other trolley was traveling at 30 miles per hour. And there was a 10 mile per hour speed limit in that particular area. The train looks like shit.
I mean, militia beforehand.
I mean, look, I think it looks awesome, but
I guess it looks pretty metal.
Parts look nice.
Literally and
I think
figuratively.
it looks better afterward, honestly.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you
awesome.
that. I'll give you that.
oh
And
fucking
27 people were injured.
That's not awesome, obviously.
nope.
Apparently, the investigation into crashes in 2008 and 2009, the recommendation that the NTSB made to implement a crash prevention system has still not been implemented. So,
Yep.
fucking, I guess the MBTA was kind of asking for that one. So, moving on. Lastly, Michelle Wu is the only candidate that supports rent control in the upcoming mayoral election.
Yep.
And Kim Janey just got an endorsement from the Right to the City vote and its super PAC, which is interestingly enough in favor of rent control, which Kim Janey is not. So,
what?
I mean, when you see
I
super PAC endorsement and that kind of cognitive dissonance, really not surprised, gotta say.
I don't stand for anything.
Anyway, that's what I got for you.
Liberals. We don't actually stand for anything.
Especially if you're
Yeah.
taking the T, you can't stand because the trolley will crash and you gotta fall over.
You gotta fall over.
You've got to. It's a requirement.
That's bleak.
I will say,
That's some bleak shit.
You gotta do a synchronized fall down like on the set of the old Star Trek.
Anyway, yeah, vote for Michelle Wu for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Free tea, rent control. What more could you fucking want? You're working class in the city of Boston.
even in the face of this crash, I still think the Green Line is underrated.
I like the Green Line. I mean, when it actually is running.
Fucking weird.
Yeah, I like it when it works.
I like it when it's
I'm
there.
fine with it either way, really, as long as I'm not on the train that crashes. I'm good.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
The MBTA, better than
statistically, it appears that you'd probably survive a collision, so that's a risk that I'm willing to take. I mean, gas prices
it's better
these
than
days,
the
am I
Orange
right?
Line. Anything beats the Orange Line.
Fuck off!
Am I right? Am I right?
Whoa!
Fuck, I want French fries.
God damn! Besides wanting French fries, Ellie, do you have anything, the material of which cannot be made up by simple, meager human minds?
Yeah, I do.
You can make it up.
This is one of those ones where like a thing happened and I'm sort of want to share about the thing, but then I sort of want to share about just like the article itself and like the article being ridiculous.
Steak.
Steak 'em! Steak 'em with your dick.
Oh, I thought it was like they were like pausing to give themselves time.
Basically,
like
what
steak,
I was doing
steak disinformation.
I actually didn't know what Steakum was before I read this.
Okay, it's time to talk about societal distrust in experts and institutions, the rise of misinformation, cultural polarization,
yeah, so
and how
for
to
some
work towards
reason,
some semblance of mutually agreed upon information before we splinter into irreconcilable realities. Beefy thread incoming. What the fuck is this?
yeah, so for some reason, there's so many layers here. Oh my god. So Steakum, which is this fucking like processed meat thing.
Some internet breakdown?
Yeah, they were like, hey, I'm going to do a Twitter thread about, you know, the risk of disinformation, which is like a story that everybody was talking about in 2016. You know, I guess finally Steakum decided,
Steakum
like,
decided
okay,
to throw their hat
better
in the
late
ring.
than never.
yeah, it's time for us to weigh in on this. And then I will note that, so this is a HuffPost article, and I don't read HuffPost, I just occasionally look at their weird news if I'm looking for like one of these. But right before the article starts pasting the actual tweets. So first of all, it's a great case of like copy editors jacking off over like overly clever like headlines. There's the title, which is
Steakum starts beef with disinformation in Twitter thread. Ha ha ha.
cool. And then the subtitle is The Processed Meat Company. The Processed Meat Company attempted to process the rise of disinformation or whatever.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sorry, I got off track many times.
No, not that. My brain just glazing over while I'm trying to read this.
Science, the term has been politicized, not the process of it. As that process has evolved on issues, both public and private institutions have taken inspiration from it. But those decisions are still driven by economic and political interests, which muddy how the term
Hold
is
on
used.
a fucking second.
My
They
brain
spell
having to be
mistakes
subjected to this.
like MISTEAK.
Are you serious? I didn't even catch that.
Son
they did.
of a bitch.
Honest
I gotta
mistake.
give him some brownie
Wait,
points
where?
for that shit. That's
In
I
the
hate
third
it,
tweet.
but it's still kind of funny.
That's the thing. That's kind of this whole article is I hate it, but like just the fact that so that's the other thing.
It's like when
For some
Wendy's shits
reason-
on someone.
Oh,
you're like,
look at that.
You're like, haha, but really, Wendy's?
What if
Yeah,
it's all just
really,
a fucking
Wendy's-
joke for that one spelling right there?
It's so weird because like whoever runs Steakum's Twitter account, like
I love it.
they don't use capitalization.
Yeah, it looks
They,
like somebody fucking
don't use-
hacked into their account like that works at like some low-level job, like got the password somehow and just fucking...
Yeah.
Some guy
And
that's
was
just
like-
stashing like cans of processed meat in his house with like an AK-47. It's just like fucking went on a Twitter rant.
Well, that's the weird thing is like it looks like that, and it's got this weird style that's like super trendy and whatever. And then you get to the end of the thread.
This whole thread was an ad, so please.
This whole thread was an ad.
Like,
yeah.
It's
what?
I
So
really
please buy our frozen meat.
I get those Wendy vibes for sure. Like
It's amazing.
How long is this fucking thread?
I don't even know. I
God
don't
damn
think they
it,
put
this
the whole
thing
thing in
goes
the
on.
article.
It's like the only
Yeah.
way to run a successful ad campaign is through recognizing the just absolute absurdity of capitalism and all of its failings in order to succeed within it.
Yep, exactly. It's so bizarre. And then there's the additional layer of this is still the Huffington Post, so they still didn't even acknowledge
15
that the whole
tweet
thing
thread.
was an ad until like
15
halfway,
tweets.
you know,
Jesus.
at the end.
It's pretty impressive. Way to go,
The most
Steakums. We
important
love them.
point.
Only in America.
The land,
Can a fake meat company
the land of
tweet about
opportunity.
experts and trust in institutions?
And then end it with this whole thread was an ad, so please buy our frozen meat.
Only
Steak 'em
fucking,
blessed.
yeah, only
Steak 'em
fucking in
blessed.
America. God damn. I'm proud to be
truly.
an American. No, really, that's some direct shit. Oh my god.
Trust experts and agencies, except for when the FDA is auditing our shady
Fuck,
business.
trust
Yeah, those
Steakums.
guys, those are the real corrupt
Should have
guys.
just said
yeah.
trust Steakums. Mm-hmm.
Can we just, just.
We're at the end. Calm down.
Oh my god.
We're not forcing you to be here.
Yeah. You
No,
come
I'm
on
just-
under your own volition.
This thread, I just don't.
I have to agree with Sarah on this one.
What
The
a-
thread is like,
Oh no, the thread is utterly stupefying and
What a bunch of attention whores. Do you have literally anything better to do? I hate Twitter so much.
Well, but the thing is, like, this has probably made them a shitload of money. Like,
but
I'm
like,
sure there are
it hurts
people who
my
are like, oh yeah,
brain.
steak 'em. I forgot about that shit.
Go buy some
But like,
steak.
this thread is so bad. Just listening to Ellie read it is literally hurting my brain and making me want to just bash my head into the
I've
sharp
been reading it.
counter.
Yeah, I can't bear to read it. It hurts my brain too. I'm glad.
Mhm.
Thank you, Scott, for reading it for
I
me.
read the first two tweets. What's number 3 say? Distrust in institutions is complex. It's accelerated by people's access to infinite information, credible sources being paywalled, corruption, honest mistakes, and that's where it's spelled with stakes, or propaganda. But underneath it all is cultural polarization dating back decades that won't be solved overnight. As institutions may have structural bias that needs to be acknowledged, but alternative sources and media are littered with their own biases and have little to no accountability. So no matter where you get information from... what? No, so no matter where you get information from, you're still extending a degree of trust in something.
It's basically like all media is propaganda.
Yeah, this is the fucked up part. Is that this is all like...
This is bad for your mental health.
Yeah, it's like we're all dumb. We all are consuming a bunch of garbage, so you might as well consume ours. Like, that is
exactly
what this is saying.
Shove it in your mouth, you pig. Come to the trough.
It is so self-aware. It's like too self-aware. I don't like it. I like it when corporations seem like they're stupid because there's at least some kind of benign, like, oh, you know, maybe they're just... Maybe they'll just die out on their own, but like, nah, Steakums are gonna be around. Like, it's gonna be like five dudes, like
five guys,
like a bunch of cockroaches and Steakums. You know what I mean? Like, and like a ton, and like a shitload of feral cats.
Come get your
which honestly sounds like it'd probably be, you know, preferable to modern society, but fuck.
A bunch of
depends on what those five guys are doing together.
A fake steak companies.
They're just eating Steakums.
Steakum. I get. Oh my god. Maybe this is like a thing we didn't have on the West Coast when I was growing up.
I have no idea what the hell.
You didn't have Steakums?
I've never had Steakums.
I don't know about Steakums.
We didn't have Carvel ice cream cake.
Yet since I was a he boy.
Is it one of those like homegrown like American brands that like quote unquote probably. Working class families have in the cabinet?
I think they're owned by like Hormel or some shit. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
I don't know.
Evil.
What'd you say, Joe?
Is it like Hamburger
sounds
Helper?
Like some like Stouffer's kind of shit where you just
some shit that white people stock their cabinets with.
It's
like
freeze-dried meat. It's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh shit.
I don't know most of those brands. I was raised on like bird seed and shit.
Bird seed.
My mom shopped at the co-op.
Oh,
power to her because she's healthy as fuck for her age, yo. She's gonna live forever. I swear to God.
You went like porch to porch, like shaking the bird feeders.
Yes.
Just like trying to get a little bit.
Shaking the bird feeders.
Like holding onto them like the squirrels that like get stuck spinning around.
Just like kind of crouching below it, just shaking it.
That was how I got my exercise when I was a little kid.
One universal goal
the guy
everyone
who's
should
like prepping the vending
prioritize
machine for
is getting
Luke
people
Cage.
across the ideological spectrum closer to the same reality of baseline facts and evidence. It won't be perfect,
Oh my god, you're still
but
reading
that needs to be the trajectory. That is the current divergent trend into split realities.
What are we
It's just
talking
such,
about?
like-
Fucking 4D? We're talking about a hypercube now?
What
It's all in a hypercube,
So much
baby.
corporate double speak.
We talking
I've
about the
already dirtied
Copenhagen
up this awareness
interpretation of
week.
quantum theory?
Steakums bless.
That Twitter thread
Talking
sounds
about
like
the
a,
many
if
worlds.
you
Not getting
averaged
rid of
out
anymore,
like
I'm
a
sorry.
bunch of like liberal news outlets
It's a bunch of liberal
describing
bullshit.
something. This is like why Trump is bad. Like if you just average out like their spiels on that, you would get to that. What Steakums is saying.
Exactly.
Honestly, this
Yeah.
It's like it's the most generic.
And it fucking works. That's what I hate about it. I hate us.
Yeah.
I just hate us. Like,
That
not
is one big pile of
not
shit.
us on this podcast, but just like humanity. Like, we're just fucking...
I swear, this thread is basically like the essence of like every other email I get from work.
Really?
Yeah, it's depressing.
Your email?
It's like every other email, but the other email has like
100%
stinking
beef,
confidential
100%
information
delicious.
in it. So it kind of
The
evens
emails
out.
are about Steakum.
All right, Steakum has gotten enough free press from us.
Fuck you, Steakums.
Agree.
Give us your
I
one
expect
square
next
inch of
week.
ass. Bringing it back, as it were.
Just going back to our roots.
Mm-hmm. Well, anywho, that's a great place to wrap it up.
That is.
Mix.
Yep, square inch of ass.
My name is Scott.
Why did you say mix?
Because I was going to call on you to go, but I realized I usually go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I'm a
Like,
robot.
What are you doing?
Robot.
My name is Scott. You can find me on the internet.
My name is Scott. I am a robot.
I'm a robot.
Precisely. At Sweaty Wife, at Bandcamp, SoundCloud. I'm on Sweaty Wife on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd is at Death Mullet. Mix, go. Cut, shut up.
Call me Mix?
Yeah, that's what your name is. You can call me Frozen Gatorade.
You just said your name was Scott and you were a robot.
Scott Robot.
I am the person formerly known as Mix and currently known as whatever I want. That Steakums thing's really got me feeling some kind of way.
Fucked up over the Steakum, huh? I feel you.
I just didn't want that. I just don't want to live in a world where that happens. Anyway, good. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm not actually leaving. I'm just saying that.
Okay. I was wondering.
Yes.
Chris, do you want to go next? And by Chris, I mean Jesse. Bleep out your name.
Comrade, go 4 way through Edgy.
Wait. Oh, we're not using our real names today. Is that the deal?
I've already introduced Chris by name.
Okay.
On this podcast before.
Yeah. My name is Chris. In case you didn't know. Now you know.
Joe.
Fine. I am Joe. I guess you can find me on the internet if you are not too lazy or tired to bother doing so. I don't blame you if you are. You can find me on Twitter at
It sounds like you're guilting people into trying to find you.
I really don't think it's worth the effort.
What the hell is this? Some kind of
That's
tube?
what I call self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me at internet. Not internet. What the fuck
We
am I
can
doing?
find you at internet.
Find me at internet.
Manifestation of my brain.
You can contact. You just send the message through the pneumatic tube. He'll probably get it.
That would be kind of nice. But do we
can find you at internet.
I usually just like, okay, I get the point. Yeah, what if everyone's a robot? Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at JLFB1996. And that's usually me just like depicting like being stuck at Pfizer until the end of time.
Oh, Jesse, you can find music. Oh,
Ellie hasn't gone.
It was really depressing when I came into work on Monday and I had 3 coworkers say to me, "Oh God, you're back already? Weren't you just here 8 hours ago?" I'm like, "Yeah. Thanks for reminding me." I really don't know what was weirder about Monday. The fact that I came to work on no sleep, or that I showed up 20 minutes early.
We love you, Joe. Ellie, go.
Oh, sorry. I was looking for when Chris was talking on the Discord about the Senator Palpatine remix thing. I was trying.
That was hilarious.
I was trying to find if anybody's done that with like the sound drops that we have from Jupiter Ascending, and I found a potential candidate, but I don't think I have to check it. Anyway, I'm Ellie.
Do it. Do it.
That's basically what it is. Yeah, I'm Ellie. You can't find me anywhere, but my headmate Chava does psychic readings, and she has a website now, and it's readingsbychava.com, and her name is spelled Chava, because we are Jewish.
And you used to be able to email
Darmok and Jalad.
I guess you still could.
His eyes
Wait,
but
did something change?
get your eyes uncovered. Well, you don't have to email. You can just go to the website now.
Yeah, she has a submission form.
Wow.
One of these days we'll retire this drop.
No, you don't have to. You can just make that the URL instead, so you can just like go to this thing.
I'm Jesse. And you can find my music at soundcloud.com/contingentsboston. Remember to have comrade-rosie.org. Select the Getting Involved tab. Choose one or more mutual aid groups to donate your time, labor, and or money to, because people really need your help. And if you're feeling particularly giving, paypal.me/abmutualaid.
Do it.
Your donations will go to good use. We could actually really use some support right now. So thank you. I love you. Mwah, mwah.
Do it.
Fucking banger, dude. It's a fucking banger, dude.
Mm-hmm. Bangers and mash, dude.
Do it.
And make sure you go to patreon.com/epicincredulity where you can find all the scrumptious bonus material that we
all
make.
The scrumptious bonus. All the scrumptious bonus. All the scrumptious bonus.
All the scrumptious.
Do it.
Anyways.
All the scrumptious bonus. All the scrumptious bonus.
Get your nipples licked.
Oh, fuck me. Now I have to remix it.
Wait, what?
Damn it. Get them licked. Get them licked. Get them pierced. Get them licked.
No, I don't think I will.
Oh, God.
Why would we do that again? It just sounds painful.
Oh, fuck me. I'm trying to eat mac and cheese.
You can find us on the Instagram, on Twitter.
And TikTok. We're on TikTok now.
And on TikTok now at Epic Incredulity.
What's happening?
Patreon.com/epicincredulity. We're on Facebook. We're on
You guys are
YouTube.
silly.
Oh, you're
What?
noticing
What
that
did you
now,
just
sir.
say?
Noticing.
It's just sillies.
We are the sillies.
You're a bunch of sillies.
Yes.
So it's
Starting
silly
with you now.
Same as it ever was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everyone.
It's okay. It's
Why are
okay.
you apologizing?
I'm a government man.
And as always, Sarah, what?
What?
You keep talking. What?
No,
Holy shit, Jamie, pull that video up.
Oh yeah, that's basically me. Me lately just be like, hey, that thing reminds me of this video, and that took me 15 minutes to find the video I'm talking about.
Anywho, every week we say, "Butt tank dough."
But tank do.
Losing my fucking mind.
I love democracy. I love the republic.
It's very true. I love democracy and I love the republic. And that's your epoch of the week.
I mean, apparently Palpatine is really good at sex, so I mean, whatever.
Not this time.
He doesn't have sex. He just stands there and then he zaps you with his fingers and it feels good or something.
No, he actually does. Apparently.
We made this one up.
He's like the
longest soundtrack.
This is 40 seconds long.
It never happened. This one was invented by a
Palpatine is like the Queen Elizabeth I of space.
Yo, listen to this shit.
Legend.
Yeah, kind of.
Never.
Wait, that doesn't work at all.
Hold on.
Sorry. That doesn't work at all. Wait, who am I thinking of?
What? Okay. What just
Wait.
happened?
Fine. Are you
What is
better at
happening?
it? Well, Carly, you got this stuff that's purple. Do it.
What?
Sounds like a fucking like a dry. I think it's like a dry shark.
Like a dry shark.
You mean a fart?
Oh my god! I do not. I do not
I'm
mean
hanging
that.
up the call. I can't see it.